Okay. So I just wanted to have just a small recap of the yesterday session. Okay. So in that, yesterday we discussed about the application accelerator, which will be creating an application. Okay, so which will be creating an application. And yesterday we also created two applications, right? One is for framework, another one is for implementation. Okay, so what is the purpose of the framework? So we will be keeping the reusable application components, okay, reusable piece of code on the framework, so that that can be accessible across the implementation layer. Okay, in the implementation you will be having various departments or else various applications like that. Okay, you can reuse it from the framework layer. So that is the reason why we will be having two parts over there. Is it the problem for everyone? Satish and others, I hope you are able to hear my voice, right? So what about Shravani? So are you able to hear the voice? Hello guys, Satish, Ravi.
Yes.
So you are able to hear my voice, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Manoj, maybe you please check Manoj. Please check the speakers. So here you will be having the speakers. Actually, here if you make it mute, you cannot hear. So you enable this one. Okay. Yeah, fine then. So we are discussing about framework and again implementation layer. So yesterday we created two applications. So one for framework and other one is for implementation layer. But they both are created independent applications. Okay, they both are created in independent applications. Okay, so independent applications means again, okay, if you want to access the properties or else any of the functionality from the framework layer, what you have to do is you have to make the framework as a parent for the implementation layer. Okay, you have to make the framework as a implementation layer. So how you can make it as a parent? Okay, that means on top of the organization division unit, then we need to include the framework, and after that we need to include the implementation layer. Okay, then only this implementation layer can access all the values, all the properties from the top level classes. So yesterday what we have done is, okay, we had two things. First will be organization, that is something called SBA or something like that. Okay, after the organization we will be having something called division, and after that, okay, we will be having something called unit. Okay, so and on top of it, okay, we have created the framework layer for SBI. This is one application. Okay, this is one of the application. So from organization to division, Okay, and then from division to unit, and then from unit to framework. Okay, later we also created one more application. Okay, that means again organization. Okay, from the organization we had something called division. Okay, and on top of it we also have something called unit. Okay, and on top of it, okay, we have created something called implementation. Okay, so if you make it like this, what happens? This division, okay, and then implementation. So here, if you see this, generally where we will implement our functionality on the implementation layer. Okay, either for loan approval or else leave request or else something else. Okay, insurance application. So we will be implementing the functionality on implementation layer. That means the properties and everything. Okay, which are specific will be created here. Okay, so this implementation layer can access the properties from where? From the unit level, and you can also access from the division layer, and you can also access from the organization layer. Okay, so this implementation can have the accessible for unit, division, organization. Okay, but can you access the properties from this framework layer? Can we access from here to here? Is it possible? No, right? Okay, why? Because there is no parent-child relationship between framework and implementation. Okay, so that is the reason why you cannot access it. So now what we have to do? We have to make this framework as a parent for this. Okay, so in that case, what you need to do is in place of this implementation layer. Okay, so we have to make this framework as a parent for this. Okay, how? From this implementation to framework. If you make it like this, now this implementation can access the properties and functionality from framework and unit, division, organization. So likewise, you have to make it. Okay, likewise, you have to make it. Then only this can be accessible. So how you can make it? So how you can make yesterday framework application, okay, into this implementation? So how you can make framework into parent for this implementation? So how you can make it means, again, creating an application. Okay, while creating an application, you can choose which is the framework you want to make it as a parent. Choose which is the framework you want to make it as a parent. Guys, I hope everybody is able to hear my voice properly. Okay, so let's keep aside of these two applications like this SBI vehicle insurance, as well as we have two applications, right? Okay, framework insurance application. So both you keep aside. Okay, let's have one more thing as well. Okay, now we'll make it one more application by which it will be extending the application from the framework. So now are you able to hear my voice, Manoj?
Yes, I am able to hear.
Okay, so that was the problem with the speaker only, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So now again to create a new application, how can you create the application? Okay, so here, can someone tell me any of the new for which we will create one application? Like SBI insurance, can you tell some other insurance? Can we go for the HDFC? Okay, so the first again I will create the HDFC framework layer. Okay, use this application type, responsive for all the devices. Let's make it as the default and keep the name for the HDFC insurance framework. So go for the advanced configuration. Okay, so now we need to select framework as we are going to create the framework application. So let's keep the application ID as a HDFC INSU. Okay, organization name we can give HDFC INS. I think it's little. So we'll be having one division and one unit. Okay, organization as a HDFC. Okay, we can have one application as well, HDFC insurance, like that. And also the class group name. Okay, which is the work class. Okay, so just to save it. Now create application. Just to take a screenshot of it. By which we have created we are going to create the application. Okay. Save it and then create the application. Okay, so now assign the operator ID for this. Add. So it has created with the default password, the admin at hdfc.com. Okay, and then so now where we can modify it, we can change the password, right? So how can we change the password?
Go to records.
Yeah, either we can go to records, otherwise on the record recents. You see on the recent, we can see this operator ID. So if you click on that, it will show you the list of the operators. So admin at hdfc.com is showing here. Select this and then go to security. Okay, update the password. So I'm just giving the password as the rules and from the password. Submit it. Force password change on the next login I'm removing, so I don't want to do it. Save it. Now, so now admin at hdfc.com. See, okay, it has created something called HDFC Insurance Framework. Okay, this is the framework which it has been created, framework application. And along with that, it will create one default class group. So HDFC FW, HDFC Insurance Work. If you want to see the definition of it, you can see it here. So yesterday we also discussed about this concrete and abstract classes, and it's a class group. Okay, as it is a class group, this will be same name as the class group. Okay, some key is there, and always the class group will be extending from the work dash cover. And if you want to see that database table name, you can select the test connection. So it's going to store all the class objects from this table. Okay, now I want to create implementation layer. Okay, I want to create the implementation layer. How it will be means this implementation layer, the one which I am going to create, should extend from the framework. So what is this framework which I have created? That is HDFC. Okay, so likewise I want to give the relationship. So how we can do it? Let's log in as the administrator at pega.com to create the new one. So as usual, to create a new application, we'll go to the Pega rules and then new application. Okay, so now you tell me, what should I select here? Can I select custom?
HDFC Insurance Framework.
Great, super. So what we have to select? we want to make this framework as a parent for the implementation layer which we are going to create. Correct, right? So I want to make this framework as a parent for the new application which I am going to create, which is the implementation layer. So just select this. Again, use this application type. Okay, so right now there are no cases available in the framework layer. So it is giving no cases. Okay, let it be no problem. Continue. No data available. Yes, continue. Again, what is the primary device? So it should be responsive. What is the color scheme? Let it be default. And what is the application name for the implementation layer? So insurance implementation. Advanced configuration. So here HDFC insurance application ID. And the organization name what we have given. Okay, so here only HDFC insurance we have given. Organization name we have given HDFC insurance. Okay, remaining all are same. So like this. So now we are creating on top of the same organization in the HDFC insurance itself, but this time it is a implementation layer. We have selected framework layer. Okay, and then just select save. Yeah. So for this insurance implementation, we can give something like a different one. Okay, why? Because it's already existing in that. So for the framework layer, the application ID should be little different. Okay, for the implementation layer, again, it should be different. Okay, organization can be same thing, but the application ID should be different. Let's give as a implementation like that. Okay, save it and then create an application. Yes, got created. Yes. See, I have added that operator ID to the same application. So this time no error. Why? Because this operator ID is already existing. Okay, done. And then log out. Okay, so here it is showing again framework. So we can change it to the implementation layer. Yes. Okay, so this time this implementation layer is on top of the framework layer. So how you can know that? So here again, when you open this up, if you want to open this application, how can you open? Means you can just select this application and select the definition. Okay, if you select the definition, again it will open that application which we have created for the implementation layer. Okay, so this is the application name which we have created for the HDFC Insurance. Okay, so and even if you select overview, it will just give the high level of this particular application. So I'm just closing this recent window. So if you want to close, okay, move the pointer onto the divider, okay, which is dividing this one. Okay, change the icon as a double-shaded arrow. You can either drag it like this, increase or decrease, okay, or you can just click on that. When it is double-shaded arrow, if you just press the mouse button, so it will quickly close it. Okay, again, if you want to expand, just to go to the corner, left side corner, and again you can drag it. Like this, you can increase and decrease it. Okay, so based on the requirement, again you can expand it. So if you want to go for any of the options, any of the explorer, then you can just do that. Okay, so likewise you can just open this application overview. Okay, here we can see that the description of the application. Okay, and again, in case if you want to add any of the features also, like it, just like a high level, you can add it here. And work items, whatever you want to do, or else doing, or else you have done. So, and also you can see the top level case types. Okay, product methodology. Okay, all these things. Okay, all these options. Okay, and the business objectives like that. Okay, all those things. Just the overview of the application it will be giving. Okay, and then so here if you select something called definition, it will open this application type here. Okay, so in the application type, okay, you will be seeing that the application which you have created for this. Okay, HDFC INSU. So this is just a label. Okay, label of the application, but here it is a name of the application. And again, this is the first version which I am creating. Okay, this is the first version. Okay, and after that we can see that some of the application rule sets. Okay, so even HDFC, INSU, IMP, okay, INT, HDFC, INT. So what are these application rules? Means, okay, as I already told you, okay, rule in Pega, everything is a rule. Okay, if you create one property, that is also one rule. If you create one user interface section, okay, that is also a rule. Okay, so likewise in Pega, whatever you develop, whatever you implement is a rule. So even these rules, okay, we are grouping based on the class. Okay, based on the class. Okay, and along with that, you can group few of the classes into one particular top level group. Okay, few of the classes into one top level group, that is called a rule set. So rule set is nothing but a collection of the rules. Okay, rule set is nothing but a collection of the rules, again, which are like one common category. Okay, so these rule sets are, okay, we have here 4. Okay, why we have 4 here means for organization level rules, we will be creating one rule set. For organization level integration layer, okay, we'll be having one more. Okay, for the organization implementation level, for the organization implementation and integration layer, we'll be having various rule sets. Okay, so right now you just remember that, okay, rule set is a collection of the rules. Okay, I can explain you in detail, okay, about these rule sets in coming classes. Okay, like that, this is the application rule. Now, okay, if you want to run any of the application, so what are the basic things you should have? If you want to create an application, what are the basic things you should have? So if you want to know that, okay, so mainly we should have something called properties. So here we are going to learn, okay, we'll be able to learn what is the property. Okay, how can we define the properties? Okay, what are the property modes available in Pega? And we will be having something called repeating groups and identify when to use the models. So we'll be seeing all these things in today's class. So in generally, even if you go for C, C++ or some other language, okay, you'll be having something called variables, right? Like character, okay, C1 or P1, something like that. Okay. And then if you want to enter some name like that, you will be giving char emp name half 10 or 20. So that indicates, so you can enter 20 characters in the employee name, right? So here in the last class, okay, we have created something called into total. So this is one of the property into total. Total is a like a variable name. Okay, in the same way we can give char C1. Okay, C1 means it is going to allocate the memory to enter one character, and it is going to give the label as C1. In case if you want to enter more than one character, we were giving char emp name or ename of 10. Okay, means it is going to allocate the memory 10 characters, and it is going to give the label name as ename, right? Okay, so in the memory, if you want to allocate some values, so what we'll be doing is, okay, when you give C1, it will assign and it is going to label it as a C1. Okay, now in this variable, okay, in this C1, okay, we will be giving some values. We can enter some characters, okay, some here or something like that. Okay, in the same way, if you give char ename of 10, so what happens? It will create the memory for 10 characters. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. To allocate the memory for entering 10 characters, use the label as ename. So in these 10 characters, we can enter any of the name like that. Like Satish. Okay. So likewise, how we have the variables in other languages, in the same way we will be having something called properties in Pega. Okay, we will be having something called properties in Pega. So those kind of the properties also we have various data types. Okay, various modes. Like for entering the numeric values, we used to have int total or int quantity. Okay, same way in Pega also we will be having the various property modes. So what are those property modes available in Pega? Okay, we will be seeing mainly 3 types of the categories: value mode, page mode, and Java mode. Okay, value mode means which contains single values. Okay, which contains single values. Okay, whereas page mode means, for example, I want to enter the customer details. Okay, for entering the customer details, we will be having employee number, employee name, city, state. Okay, so like these 4, I'm going to grouping into some particular category like employee details. So that is called a one page. Okay, that is called a one page. Means here employee name. Okay, and after that, okay, we'll be having employee number, employee name, address, city. Okay, so after this, what I will do, if you take each and everything, it is a single value property. Okay, it is a single property. Okay, but combination of these things if you make, okay, all together. So collection of these 4 properties I can make into one group. So that is called a page property. Okay, it's a page property. Okay, so I'll be giving employee details like that. The page property name I'll be giving employee details. Okay, so here in this employee details page, how many number of the employee details I have given? Employee number 1, that is Satish, and again it belongs to Nampally or something, and again the city is Hyderabad. So now here how many number of the records I have? Only one record. Okay, only particular one employee details. So in case if you want to have more than one employee details, if you want to save more than one employee details, so how can you do? So we need to have one more page like this. Okay, like employee details 1, employee details 2, employee details 3. Employee number 2. Okay, you can change this address and again employee name and again everything like that. Okay, so like this, if you want to have more than one person details, that means if you want to have more than one record, you should have more than page. Okay, you should have more than one page. That is something called a page list property. Okay, that is something called page list property. So one record means one page. If you want to have more than one record, that is a page list property. Like that there are single value properties. Okay, and again page properties and Java properties. So in the single value, okay, what you will be having? Okay, or else if you select value list, what you will be having? If you select page or page list, what you will be having? You can see here. Okay, so each mode has 3 designations: a single instance, a list, and again a group. Okay, if you take say capital city or just city, so that is a single instance. You see here, this is the list property. Okay, city of 1, some Hyderabad, city of 2, some Vijayawada or Karimnagar or like that. So if you have various cities, okay, that is something like a list we will be having. So how you will be referring each and every value means you will be referring with the array index. You know array, right? So city of 1, city of 2 like that. And if it is a group, okay, how you will be referring? So the group also is like a more than one value, but the group can be referred with the index label. Here index number 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here A, U, U, K, and again F, R, just like that. Okay, this is the group. Okay, this is the ordered list. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the ordered collection. It's not like a order. It's not identifying with the index. So it is just. So this group is called an unordered collection. So these are the 3 types of the modes: single value property, list, and again group. So again, if you want to see in detail of the single value and again groups, so determine the type of data the property stores may affect the format and allowable characters in the value. So commonly used property types will be having something called text to enter more than one character. Stores text string like so we can give text to emp name. And integer stores the numeric values, a number with no decimal value. And we can also create the data type as a true or false. Okay, some boolean values. Stores a boolean value. And in Pega, okay, we'll be seeing some of the predefined Pega properties. Okay, some of the predefined Pega. Okay, they are something called PX, PY, PZ. Okay, what is this PX, PY, PZ means? Okay, property, it will be, there will be some suffix. Yeah, in the records. Okay, if you want to see the available properties, you can go to the data. And again, property, if you select that, okay, you will be seeing the list of the properties available in Pega. You see, this is the property name and this is the class on which this property is existing. Okay, so if you see here, Pega has created so many properties here. Okay, like py enable express mode, py enable express mode, py first date, py last date. Okay, py likewise So this py, and for few of the properties it contains px also. And if you want to sort it, you can click on this column heading, property name column heading. If you just click, okay, it is going to sort to the properties. So based on the ascending order. If you click again, it will be in the descending order. Like this. Okay. So let's move to the next screen. Okay, we'll be seeing some of the properties here. So while seeing the property names, as we said that, okay, we are able to see that something called px, py as a prefix. And if you want, you can even make a of the properties as well. Okay, by selecting this, click to filter. It will show you all the properties from px. Okay, so as I said, we'll be having some properties as a py also. Okay, there are no pz properties. Okay, but the main purpose, the main understanding of the px, py, pz is px is a read-only property. That means these properties you cannot modify it. These px properties you cannot modify it. You can just reuse those properties.